Today we're going to be going over our brodex IK 215 heads. These are phenomenal heads for the price point, for what they can do as far as flow numbers, as far as like the ports. I will say that the exhaust ports are relatively small, but they are still very, very, very nice heads. If I could say anything, the exhaust ports would need to be just a little bit bigger, but they can still flow incredibly for what they are. These come out to about $2,700 with shipping and tax and everything. You're probably looking at $3,000, but for that price, these are very, very, very good heads. In my opinion, they're better than some of the AFR heads that are around this price point. And what I like is that they're CNC ported. Well, it says CNC ported, but what it is it's gasket matched to this Felpro gasket right here. As you can see, like, that is a phenomenal matchup. Like, you're barely losing anything. That's a very good matchup right there. A lot of people have to cut their heads out when they want to get everything port matched. And another thing is that these heads are also, they're matched to those gaskets, and all of these heads, that gasket, and a Super Victor Series 2 match up phenomenally. This is our Super Victor Series 2 intake, and we were just talking about the port matching and how the gasket lines up very well. You can look in the ports a little bit, and you can see where it might potentially it'll have a little bit of turbulence. But for what we're doing, we're not really chasing every single number possible. You see all the way up there. If it'll focus in up there. Anyways, it's a very straight runner. This is a very expensive intake. Found a really good deal. A guy had it for a long time. Cut me a good deal on it. Got it for less than half the price. And it's a great intake. It's a high rise, obviously, for higher RPM. And we had built this thing. We're building everything to work. There it is. There we go. You can see how close it is. You can probably, that's about perfectly where it would sit. But it's just, I love how this matches the heads, and that really matters. Like that, those small details, like the gaskets matching up to the intake, and then the heads matching up to the intake and the gasket, and those all three work together for a very good build. And that's what you got to have in mind when you're building stuff like this, is that this affects those, and then so on and so forth. You want to pick a cam that complements your intake, that complements your heads, that complements your displacement, and so on and so forth. So that's what I did here. I had built the cam with mid to low RPM in mind, and then mid-range, but it's a solid roller, so it's going to pull up high anyways. The cam should pull well past 7,000 RPM, at least to 7,200, because it's on a 105 intake center line, and I plan on getting more in depth into that in a later video. But it's really important to take and pick stuff that is going to complement each thing in the build. A lot of guys have a lot of success with doing stuff like that. But a lot of guys will take and they'll just throw this part on the engine and that part on the engine and so on and so forth, and then they'll get out and they'll romp on it, and they really do not get the get what they expected out of it. And I believe that is because you can't just throw some parts together and say, this is going to be this mean, crazy race car. Like when you're building race cars, and I don't know everything about it, but from what I've done, talking, looking, researching, it really matters. And I saw it in this build. I saw it in a couple other builds that I've done in the past, and it really separates the people that are really wanting to build an engine that is going to perform phenomenally, and then an engine, someone that wants to build an engine that wants to perform good. There's a big difference there in quality. For sure, you can make a lot of power just throwing some stuff in an engine, but you really make good, consistent, how you want it, straight out the box power when you do it with performance in mind, like with the intake and the head situation here. And I'll just jump into the heads a little bit more in depth. I was talking about how they have a CNC ported, but they're really port matched, and that the exhaust ports were a little bit on the small side, but that's nothing too crazy. And we got a good upgraded spring package on these. These are I think they're 720 lift. We're right at 700 lift on our camshaft and solid rollers. That's for a solid roller, that's not huge, not like extremely huge, but it's by no means a mild cam. That cam is going to want 4,000 plus RPM as far as the converter, and we plan on giving it to it. But there's not much to say about it because I don't have a flow bench and stuff like that. But these are great, very good quality. You get a little close up on everything. They're a little dirty because they'd been run a little bit, but very good quality parts. Sourced from CNC Motorsports. I mean, I would recommend these to anybody. I mean, they are great. Great. Very good. You can see up in there. It's the intake valve. You can see good quality stuff there. Check out one of the exhaust ports here. Same deal. Obviously not like a professional, like the best that you can get. Like some of the really high quality ones will have all this like beading cleaned out. But like I say, for what we got here, for the money we spent, I would recommend this to anybody. These are really good heads. I've watched videos from some other YouTubers that are fairly well known that have actually flow test these, and they flow well past 600 lift. So they start to fall off obviously around the 650 and we're pushing more lift than that, but these heads are really good, and I think with a little bit of bowl work and stuff like that, they will flow well up into 700 with no doubts. They will. But yeah, that's the brodex IK 215 heads and the Super Victor Series 2 intake. Really good combination.